So you can tell Aaron Rodgers you can't check the line of scrimmage.
And I'm sure they won't. I mean,
I was told that they told Russ he couldn't, but I'm not trying to put them. They're a different player. I get that. But I can't imagine that he's going to be like, hey, Aaron, you run what I call. Well, every time.
There's many things. All right, so this is all about a relationship with the quarterback and the offensive coordinator. They've been to the playoffs. They've been bounced 8 straight years. Let's start with the relationship between Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith. Is that enough to get going right away to get them beyond what we've seen them do the last 8 years?
Well, no, because I think there are other issues with the Steelers. I think, the relationship between Aaron Rodgers, what Ben's talking about, they didn't want Russell Wilson to go off script because that caused problems for Russell Wilson and his team the 2 years he was in Denver, the later part of his year in Seattle, or his career in Seattle. So they wanted to make sure that he stayed on script. I don't think that Arthur Smith's going to require that of Aaron Rodgers as much as he did Russell Wilson. Different players, as Roethlisberger said. I think the issue with the Steelers is, are they good enough as a team? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is 41. By the time the playoffs start, if they get there, he's going to be 42. Can he stay healthy throughout the season? They have one established receiver, DK Metcalf, who over a 6-year NFL career has averaged 73 catches a year. Their average age on their starting defense is right around 28, which would make it one of the oldest in the league. And they don't even have TJ Watt in camp yet because of a contract dispute. They got a rookie running back. God help that kid if he blows something in pass protection early on. Right. Like, there are some issues with this team that go well beyond what is Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers' relationship going to be.
Mike T, they made this. They could have gone one and done in the playoffs this year with Mason Rudolph at quarterback. But they
did, actually. They did 2 years ago.
That's right. So they got Aaron Rodgers to get over that one and done 8-year slump.
Yeah, if you want to look at it as the glass is half full, what does Arthur Smith want to do? He wants to be under center play action. Hebo gave me great stats. Over the last couple of years, 41% under center for Arthur Smith, well above league average, 31% play action. So Caleb Johnson, the rookie that Dan was referencing, is really the key here. If they could run the ball effectively, Matt, then yes, I think the Aaron Rodgers move has a chance of working in a really material way, because that's what Aaron Rodgers can do. He could turn his back to the line of scrimmage, play action, and then throw with great accuracy. If they can't run the ball, he is a athletically diminished, soon-to-be 42-year-old quarterback who is not in the offseason. Bart, the history in our league says when you're not in the offseason program and you're over 40, the odds are massively against you. Again, I give Aaron Rodgers credit for signing and trying to do this, but why not do it 2 months ago? Give yourself the best chance to be successful.
Like I keep repeating, I did it with Steve McNair. We signed him June 6th. We went 13-3, was the number 1 seed in the AFC. You talk about that rookie running back. Now, you had a Shine Green, and Shine Green was really a spark for us that year when we ran the ball. We know that Iowa could produce those in between the tackles, downhill running, which is exactly what Tomlin wants to do. And I think they'll preserve Aaron Rodgers by running the football. He's not going to be in for pass protection because they have Darnell Washington, they have Fairmouth. They'll go 2 tight ends. They'll let these guys go in and leak him out. They won't have him protections. But, when you talk about Arthur Smith, what Arthur Smith wants, and what he wants is timing. He wants you to play on time. And what was the big issue with Russell Wilson? He didn't play on time. Some of his biggest plays in the moon balls came off-schedule type of plays. Aaron Rodgers is a guy that I think still can play at a high level. You talk about him turning the ball over. Aaron Rodgers, turned the ball over, above his natural average last year, and there was only 11 interceptions on a bad football team. I think this team is a live dog, and I think they can win.
Yeah, look, again.
Yeah, I said it. Go to break right now.
That's it? We're going to clip that off?
Wait, Bart,
be quick.
You just said under on 8.5, and you're.
I didn't say under. I said over. That was you, Ricky Bobby.
We'll have to check the tape.
Steve McNair was 33 and
right. You don't need to do all that. You don't have to give us the Dan Orlovsky big bold stuff in June. Save that for the season. That is crazy.
He doesn't have to give you the Orlov keys. He doesn't have to do that.
Keys.
He doesn't have to do that.
Do the hair thing. Listen, I'm with you on the Steelers being a good team. I like this move for the Steelers. I think the question of whether Aaron Rodgers has to be a bad man. He has to be a bad man when he's facing the top quarterbacks like Lamar, like Josh Allen, like Joe Burrow. When he plays Green Bay and has to face Jordan Love. I get that. He doesn't have to be Super Bowl type of guy. I don't think we can expect this team where we're talking about what's the standard and all they've done is not have losing seasons to then say Aaron Rodgers at 42 when the season starts will get them to a Super Bowl. That just seems a bit much.
Understandable. I mean, you could always slate them in for that first week of the playoffs and then say they're probably going to lose, right? They could have done some half, move, half measure. Okay, let's go get a veteran guy. They went all in. They said, let's pay him for 1 year, and we'll wait for him, and we'll go all in. I think they didn't do this to say we're going to be a wild card team or a divisional round team. I think they look at the division. They got their butts kicked by the Ravens on national TV in the playoffs. Said, we're not going to do that anymore. Russell Wilson wasn't the answer. Justin Fields, obviously, wasn't going to get them over the top, or they would have given him a big deal and he would have stayed. I think they went for Aaron Rodgers on a 1-year deal because they still think this window with T.J. Watt and Minka and Cam Hayward, there is a chance for them to still do it with Tomlin and this group. So you don't make the Metcalf move and the Rodgers move. You think it's going to be a wild card team.
Couple of things I would like.
You're not going to be objective. I don't even want to.
Couple of things that I would like to say. Number one. I mean, they don't have losing records with Mike Tomlin, so let's get that out the way, right? And then I'm thinking about their defense. Got to re-sign T.J. Watt. Got to get him locked in because that brother is it. All that in a bag of chips. We need him and the rest of the crew. I believe in them. I believe their defense will be formidable, and we can go from there. Offensively, Najee Harris is no longer there. He's a Charger. But this kid Warren can play, okay? You got Gainwell. You got this kid Johnson that you drafted out of Iowa, if I remember correctly. So I'm looking at all of those things. Fryermuth is a big-time tight end. He's not the best, but he's big-time. He can ball. DK Metcalf is there. We got a number one receiver we can rely upon, not somebody temperamental. Okay, so we got that, all right? Robert Woods is there, okay? Austin, if I remember correctly, is there. Yeah, so I'm looking at all of these things, right? And I'm saying, okay, gets us to Aaron Rodgers. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sick of the haterade that has been thrown on Aaron Rodgers. I think people are ultra critical of him. It has not been ideal. I know not one but two losses to the San Francisco 49ers at Lambeau Field when he was a Green Bay Packer. I get that part. I know that his Jet tenure was not impressive. He got hurt the fourth play his first year, okay? Last year he came back from the Achilles heel. People forget that stuff. Still threw 28 touchdowns.
Played better as the season
still played better as one season went on. It wasn't great. We understand that. But they talk about with Achilles that it takes you a couple of years. So I expect him to be better. And last but not least, let me tell you something. Beggars can't be choosy. Beggars cannot be choosy. Go on. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Mason Rudolph. We had Skylar Thompson, okay? Sound like a damn soap opera, okay?
You would know, right?
Soap opera. I would know, okay? Will Howard, I hope he has promise coming out of Ohio State. I get it. But damn, we needed Aaron Rodgers. Let me tell you something. I believe in that brother. I believe in that bad man. I believe he will show up again. And I think that he's hearing all the muttering. Now, he was in darkness, Molly. Remember we went in the cave and he was in darkness. What has happened? Light has shined down upon him. He is married. You understand what I'm saying? He is happy. You understand? And as a result, he gets to focus on football because you got a guy like Tomlin and I handle the rest. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to show up this year and going to prove the naysayers wrong. I believe in Aaron Rodgers.
I blame you for that.
I got him going.
No, because you got him riled up. No one at this table, I assume, is disputing the Steelers. I think they'll be good. I think they'll make it to the playoffs. The question for me is, will they win a playoff game?
Okay.
Peter talked about half measures. Peter talked about half measures.
Right.
Justin Fields was somebody that they wanted. Where did Justin decide to go? He decided not to stay in Pittsburgh. He decided to go to the Jets.
How bad did they want him?
They would have paid him if they really wanted him.
How bad did they want him?
They would have offered a real deal.
How bad did they really want him? I'm just saying.
Really?
How bad did they really want him?
I'm giving you guys. Meet me halfway. Meet me halfway, where we don't have to say now all of a sudden the Steelers are winning the Super Bowl. We can just say they got a future Hall of Fame quarterback. He's on an improved roster. We have high expectations for them.
We need a playoff.
But can we at least get to see the Steelers win a playoff game before Peter gets you riled up into talking about the Super Bowl?
I will say this. Everyone looks at him as this crunchy granola guy, Northern California. He beats to his own drum. He's got sage. He's doing the whole thing. His best performances have been with Mike McCarthy, Western Pennsylvania coach.
That grit
Ben McAdoo,
we talked about.
Western Pennsylvania coach. Tom Clements, There is a little blue collar to Aaron Rodgers that I think people ignore because of his off-the-field comments and kind of how he lives his life in the offseason. When it is football, he will dive all into that Pittsburgh lore. And he's on a one-year deal.
I believe
with a giant chip on his shoulder.
I believe in Aaron Rodgers. And I don't believe it's going to be his only year in Pittsburgh.
And that's it for today's episode on ES3N. We're not just here to entertain. We're here to add value. Whether it's a new perspective on the game, a deeper look into an athlete's mindset, or a moment that made you think, this is the kind of content that stays with you after the final whistle. Sports teach us more than just how to win. They teach us patience, discipline, how to lose with grace and come back stronger. And that's the message we're building here together. So if today's video gave you something real, something to take into your next workout, your next challenge, or even just your day, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Not for the algorithm, but because we're building a community that gets it. Thanks for being part of this. Keep learning, keep leveling up. And as always, this is ES3N signing off with gratitude and grind.
Thanks for watching. You're tuned into the ES3N network. We appreciate you spending your time with us. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a drop. Got thoughts or theories? Drop them in the comments. We read them all. Share this video to help keep important stories alive. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, there's always more to the story. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. But stay tuned. Coming up next, I'll be adding even more value by showing you exactly how to get started with your knitting journey.